Josh, good to see you.
Good to see you, Karine. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you, or tomorrow, the fourth be with you, however you want to look at it.
Let's hope we killed off the Star Wars jokes for the rest of the briefing.
I doubt it. I feel like there's more coming.
So, three subjects.
Yeah.
First, a top orthopedic surgeon at Shifa has apparently died in Israeli custody. He was 50 years old. If medical personnel are not going to be exempt from the war, how can Gazans hope to have any medical care? And what can you say to other doctors working in that area?
And so, look, that is a devastating news and devastating to hear. And our hearts go out to friends and families, his friend and families. That is certainly one of the hardest news that you can hear, a family member can hear, especially as someone is providing care in this situation in Gaza, where we know humanitarian aid is dire, and the innocent people of Gaza, the Palestinian citizens, obviously need that care. They need that assistance. So it is obviously devastating to hear. And the president has said, and has said very clearly, that when it comes to people who are citizens who are in Gaza providing that all-important care, humanitarian aid, humanitarian care, they need to be protected. They should be protected. And so certainly those conversations are going to continue. We believe that certainly Israel has made, the Israeli government has taken efforts to do just that, and has taken into account our concerns. And so we're going to continue to have those conversations. But it is heartbreaking to hear. I can't speak specifically to that case and what occurred. Obviously, someone's life was lost, and we have to be certainly mindful. And we're at this time, I can offer my condolences. And we want to make sure innocent lives, innocent civilians, people who are certainly offering that humanitarian aid, their lives are protected as they're doing so.
Secondly, what can you say about reports that Israel has briefed the administration on its efforts to evacuate civilians before a Rafah invasion?
So what I can say this, and we've been pretty clear, we haven't seen a comprehensive plan, as it relates to their thinking on the Rafah operations. We have been also clear that of our concerns of any major operations, military operations into Rafah, we have said, and you all have heard us say, there's more than 1 million Palestinian civilians living seeking refuge in Rafah, and we want to make sure that they are their lives are protected. And so that is important, and we want to continue to have the conversations that we've been having with the Israeli government. As you know, those conversations have been led by the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan. He was just here last week, as you all know, as well. And so we had 2 virtual conversations. We're hoping to have one in person. We want those conversations to continue. We believe that they are going to take, Israel government is going to take our concerns into account, but we have not seen a plan, comprehensive plan, and we want to make sure that those conversations continue, because it is important to protect those Palestinian lives, those innocent lives, those more than 1 million citizens who are seeking refuge in Gaza, in that part of Gaza, in Rafah.
And then, lastly, on campus protests, the president has drawn the line at violence, but he said he's not bringing in the National Guard. Does he think the police presence deters violence or exacerbates it?
So just to be very clear about the National Guard, that is something that governors decide on. That is a decision for them to make when it comes to the National Guard. And so want to just reiterate that again from here. And look, we have always been very clear when it comes to police presence on college and universities. That is certainly something that that universities and colleges have to make a decision on. That is something that they decide what is right to move forward on their campuses and colleges. And we understand how painful this moment is. You've heard me say it is an incredibly charged time. It is a charged environment, and it is very difficult because of that charged environment for law enforcement. We also believe, and it is important, that all Americans can peacefully protest within the law. They have to be able to do that. You heard from the president, it is part of our fundamental American principles, part of what make America's freedom, right, to be able to to protest peacefully in this country. And it is also important, which is the second part that the president talked about yesterday, is the rule of law. We have to follow the rule of law. Violence is not protected here, but Americans have the right to peacefully protest within the law, and we're going to be very consistent here. And as I said, these are incredibly painful time, and it is a very charged moment, and we understand how difficult that could be. And so I'll just leave it there.